Hey everyone, Joe here with Amelie. Today
Hello.
we're back with Barry, season 2, episode 3. I had to read it off the screen. And we want to say thanks for all the really weird views and likes. And please like and subscribe now because we're about to spoil the shit out of Barry. Go for it. So, Amelie, I got to ask you episode 3, my God, season 2. What did you just basically do you remember watching it for the first time?
Yes, I really like it.
Like years ago? Yeah.
So I really like it because it gives as a subject the subject of writing a book, being a writer, writing his own story
Yeah.
from reality to fiction, and it poses a number of questions, and I really like it. Often when we watch movies or series, we just focus on the character, the actor, etc. And during our podcast, often we have a fight of was it the fault of the actor, was it the fault of the writing, or I really like that
Yeah.
character or that actor,
Like
but
what
not
messed
exact
up?
what happened.
Yeah.
And in this episode, you see the writing, but in
Really?
different layer. Like for example, with Noho Hank, who asked to read a book because his friend told him so, and the writer is an intellectual and he's got power. Also, we see Sally who wants to write about her past,
Mm.
and we
Could have been that
realize
one.
writing can help her to get some power over the past, but at what cost? And then we have our main character who he wants to tell the truth, he wants to write, but he's like, can I say that? Do I want to?
Yeah. We
So,
we have all those things, and I appreciate that answer. And yeah, it's I really didn't think about it as a writing thing, but you're right. You're correct. I should say. Otherwise, like right, right, right. Welcome to English. It is where we see. Well, first of all, we see NoHo Hank trying to struggle with the intellectual world of Cristobal is throwing him into. And then we see Sally not just writing about her past to get claim some power, physically rewriting the past. Because she's making, okay, we assume Sally is embellishing or making things up on how the fight actually went. We assume this because we assume that Sally is not an honest person. She could be telling the truth, but it's really weird how we automatically assume, like, no, her friend, we've never met the friend before in our lives on camera. And we believe the friend over Sally almost instantly.
yes,
It's weird. We
it's
have
really
no,
interesting.
yeah, and we weren't there,
Mm-hmm.
so A, it didn't exist. This is just Barry. It's not a real thing. But it's weird how we can almost automatically take the side of not the victim because, like, oh, Sally just making some crap up to make Sally feel better about herself. We automatically discard it, saying she's lying instead of actually trying to believe her for half a minute. Did you believe her at all when she's talking about? We'll get into the blah blah later, but
I did not
did you,
believe Salim. I
why
did
not?
not believe Salim. From my personal perspective,
Yeah,
she's in rage and she has rage. She's insulting the person in front of her. She sees a guy like somebody to knock out, right?
yeah,
She was a victim. I believe the mother over Skype who say no, you he beat you up, etc. She was
the
there. She was
the
a
friend,
witness.
not the mother.
Yes,
That's just a
she's a
friend.
mother. She's a mother. She
So she's
is a
not
mother.
Sally's mom.
No, she's not Sally's mom, but she's a mother of kids. She say, "I've got kids. I'm a mother." No,
Oh,
no, no. So I believe the mother. I believe the friend. I believe
hmm,
her. I believe
interesting.
she has rage. She wants to embellish the story. She wish she could have say so.
Yeah,
Why? Because I'm a victim myself. I was attacked on the street, and there's many times I just rewatch and rewatch and rewatch in my head, and at the end, I'm like, what if I had say this or I say
Yeah.
that and everything? And the reality is, no. Somebody grabbed me by the ponytail. I saw a knee. I saw the sky, and I was bleeding on my nose. I was left on the street. That's what happened. And sometimes shit happened in her situation. She wants to to write a story and make the bad guy, etc. And she wants to get the truth out of it
Yeah.
with a talk with her friend. And that's really honest. That's really great. But the friend's like, no, that's not what happened. What happened is I really remember, and her speech changed, and she's like, I'm not very comfortable to talk about it. But can we talk about it? Da, 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 da. Sure. You went
Yeah.
to Rooster, you danced with such and such, you came back home, he beat you up, he grabbed you by the neck because you had bruises and scratching on your neck. And we decided you were going to leave him. So I grabbed a baseball bat like he could help. We went, he was passed out on the floor, and you pick up a few things and we left. And she looked at it like, oh, do you remember saying that I say that, that, that? No, I don't remember. No,
Yeah.
no. So I believe her because yes, he's got rage and everything, and she scream and stuff, and you can feel the rage and everything. However, because the other character, the friends, change her intonation of voice when she's like, well, in that night, this is what happened.
Yeah.
I kind of believe her more.
Well, I believe the friend as well, but you kind of glanced over something real quickly. You're like, oh, it happened to me, and like, wait, what? So I know a bit about you, and again, welcome to the show where we ask personal questions to each other to make each other feel apparently as she sits on the pillow uncomfortable. No, if you don't want to answer, you don't have to answer. You said the ponytail and then knee, and then you were out. Was that how you broke your nose? Was that story? Or is that a different time?
Oh, I knocked my nose several times at
No, 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 no,
running
no.
water.
You know exactly. You don't have to say it out loud, but is that the story where you had your nose?
No,
Okay,
no,
so it's a
no,
different one.
no. No, that's a different one.
Okay. We
Uh,
don't have to talk about the other one. Let's go back to the one you brought up then.
no, I was walking down the street and I was attacked.
Okay. So you
Simple as
never
that.
knew,
I
just
never knew.
random.
Everybody knew, a lot of people on the street knew who attacked me, and it was a mistake. She mistaken me with someone else. She really mistaken me for someone else, and she really fucked up. She's a girl. She's a girl. I remember hearing somebody screaming on the street, like, "Seth, I'm going to fuck you up," something like that, and running
Yeah.
behind me. And I thought, oh, somebody is going to have a hard time. I was walking down the street to go to the baker,
Yeah.
and it was a Saturday afternoon, by the way, and beautiful day. And she grabbed me by the ponytail. I saw a knee, and she left me there, and I was completely blah. And she said something to me. She must insulted me, na 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 na, and left. And what happened is apparently. People told me that years later. She found out the next day that was not the right person,
Wait, wait,
and
wait.
she did low profile because I could have gone to the police and say I know who knocked me out. There were witnesses, there were people who knew but say nothing, right? And yeah, yeah, not cool day.
Okay. So A, she is undoubtedly a scumbag. I'm putting that out there. If you attack someone because you have rage, sure, maybe, whatever. That's still a crappy move for me. Like, especially if you're gonna attack someone from behind, I think that's just a bitch move. But B, if you found out the next day that that wasn't even your true victim, you didn't apologize. Like, she never called you up and apologized. Said, "Oh my god," you had to find out years later that she knew.
No, I found out very quickly. People
Right.
told me who broke my nose and
But who? But
everything,
you found out that she
but
knew.
I didn't have any proof it was her. And I think 3 years later,
Right.
somebody during a party told me, yes, that girl, the reason she attacked you is because her boyfriend at the time, uh, who went back,
Was trying to buy you a car.
he was getting out of prison, by the way, so you can see the kind of person it is. Apparently hit on a girl, like you see what I mean, like tried to seduce another girl,
Yeah.
and she thought it was me, and because she saw me on the street, she's like, "Oh, it's her." So was she drunk, fucked up, and je sais pas, I don't know. I suppose she saw me, she thought
Okay,
it was
but
a girl, and she grabbed me and bang, 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 and boom.
right, right. But
And
we're going back to the same part. You're skipping over. Emily, you keep skipping over.
yeah,
You find out 3 years later
uh huh,
that it was a case of mistaken identity. You found out
hmm,
3 years later that
yeah.
she already knew for those 3 years that she attacked someone she did not mean to attack, and she never
Hmm.
apologized. That's why I'm saying that's a complete scumbag move. Like you shouldn't attack anyone, especially from behind, for like just willy nilly. But to know that you attacked the wrong person in your vengeance scheme and to never apologize, she's trash. 1,000%. I
No,
hope she's getting help
she's
somewhere.
not
But
trash. She's not trash. What is
that's
trash
a
is
trash
people who
move.
saw me. No, no. The people who saw me on the street bleeding and did nothing
That's
once she was
bystander effect,
gone.
and they're trash as well.
That's
Yeah,
they're
that's the
trash.
whole
Her,
we don't want to
her,
get
she
involved.
fuck.
Someone else is
Her,
going to
she
do
has
it.
a no, no. You understand what I mean? Like that, and it
Can,
was
can we say
in
they're all
no,
trash?
like,
They're all trash. Emily, someone attacked you from behind because they thought you were someone else. That is
hmm.
a pussy move, first of all. Second part, she finds out quickly she attacked the wrong person, and like a coward, she did never apologize it to you. You had to find out
It's
three
a
years later that you were victimized by someone who mistook you for someone else. That is a trash
well,
move.
it's a great lesson. It's a great lesson of why I left North of France. Do you understand? I forgive
There you
her
go.
because she is in hell already. Her boyfriend at the time went to prison,
She's
came
in
out of
Norfolk,
prison.
France.
She really loves the dude, right? She really loves the dude, and he hit on another girl, meaning she was cheating on. She must have drink, take some
Yeah.
pill or whatever. She saw the girl who must have stole her boyfriend, right? She ran, she grabbed me, she blum, and she left. She found out it's the wrong girl. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not going to add to your misery, girl. Like,
No,
no.
but she can say
What pissed
sorry.
me off is I don't care. What pissed me off is the people around who didn't have the balls to come up to me and or call something or try to help
Yeah.
me or whatsoever, right? And number two, her fantastic friend came to me and say her name. This is that person. This is the address. Yeah, but I don't have a witness. Were you there when she attacked me? Are you sure? Oh yeah, 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 no,
Ah,
no, no. Yeah, why you didn't come out of your house? Why you didn't propose? Why you didn't call the fire brigade in ambulance or something? Like I just got attacked. Hey, there's a girl who just got attacked in front of me, and you want me to push her under the bus? And I'm like, no, 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 thank you. You gave me rage, and that rage I'm going to use it to work, save money, and fuck off and never come back. And it's just a broken nose. What about if I was raped or murdered
yeah,
or
no shit.
something, right?
Oh, if you're murdered, we
So,
wouldn't be having this
from a
podcast.
perspective of that girl who got fucked up drunk probably and take medication and stuff, and her boyfriend who came out from prison cheat on her, and she grabbed me and the rage she had to just attack a person out of blind rage, I'm like, she's already in hell. And her friends just push her under the bus. I'm like, prefer not know. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that happened. No,
Okay.
no, no, no. It's. I'm not the only one with that situation. There's look. In Germany, I had a car accident. I was victim of a hit and run.
Yeah.
Like, I could have died. You know. So Am I going to wait for the person to understand why did you left like that and let us die or something like that? No, no. Like I'm enraged with the people who didn't come and help me on the street. I'm not enraged at her. I thought about her. It's been over 20 years, 20, 25 years.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for her. I'm sorry for the hell she's living in to get drunk, attack somebody by mistake. Imagine she attacked me. Police come. People say it's her. She attacked you. She goes to trial. She attacks somebody on the street without like completely drunk. She's fucked. Her life is fucked. And I'm like, that person is already fucked. She must be fucked. Huh? She must be either dead
Well, the thing
or
is, I'm going to play, as the United States says, devil's advocate. What if she did that sober and that was just how she got fun? Maybe there's like, it's a beautiful day out. I'm going to go attack someone right now. And then she just did
no,
it randomly.
no, because I
And the next
remember
beautiful
her
day,
yelling,
someone
being
else did it.
really enraged, and
Yeah, maybe that's
no,
fun
no,
for
no, no,
her.
no.
Maybe that's just like, yeah. Maybe that's her, like, maybe that's like her going to the movies, you know? Some people go to the movies, some people rage attack.
But everybody knows she rage attack, but
Yeah.
don't care.
Maybe that's her thing.
Like,
Maybe that's how she gets fun,
don't
you
think
know?
so. I don't think so.
Or hear me
Did it
out, hear
look
me out, hear me out. I'm doing conspiracy. I'm doing conspiracy today. You
go?
know, did this happen after you rejected the guy who was bringing you meat?
No, no, no. The meat came after. The meat came after
Oh
because
man, there goes my
I was a
conspiracy theory.
teenager.
I'm like, he's
I was
getting
a
revenge on
teenager.
you.
No, no,
You were a
no, no, no,
teen.
no,
Oh
no.
my god, kid.
No, no, that's so interesting because when I was a teenager, like between 11 and 15 years old, 15 including
Yeah.
16, I was really bullied. I was like a real nerd and stuff like that. I was like you, like you when you were a teenager. Then I started to work at McDonald's and everything
Oh, sorry.
changed.
I didn't know that happened. Wait,
I went to
you
McDonald's
you
and
got bullied
everything
until you
changed.
worked at McDonald's? So you're like, McDonald's is the cool job in France? Like, oh, I can't wait to work at
No,
McDonald's.
no, because people who work at McDonald's, most of them are what we call cas social, social case worker, social case. It's people with
Uh-huh.
who have children when they're teen. It's people who have drug issue. People who dad and mom fuck off or kick them out when they were 18 years old.
Mm.
They were needing the job. They were giving job at 16 years old only to kids who really deserved it, who were really in the shit. For example, I had one of my colleague. Mother had a heart attack when she was a teenager. And when she died, the father became an alcoholic, so she had to look after her brother and sister.
Right.
So they gave her a job at 16 years old. People who just wanted to work a little bit to get married and be a housewife, have three children, be begged by the government. So to have a kind of retirement and some money
Yeah,
aside,
yeah.
they would work at McDonald's. So by working McDonald's, I kind of became one of those who bullied me, and they had more,
Mhm.
how can I say, respect. I earned their respect
Yeah.
because they were like, you may be an intelligent girl or a smart monkey, but you work and you do night shift with us and you help us out,
Right.
etc. And I get to knew them and found out some of them are really trying, but the dad is a fucking alcoholic. Or look, I have a bad reputation because my mother was a prostitute. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know, da 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 da. And they all have dreams, and they have all their own hell. And now I'm going to tell you that, my friend. Now I live in Prague,
Mm.
Czech Republic. Whenever there is an accident around their Soledis, like a family or people who
Yeah.
have the age of my parents die in a car accident or there is a problem or something happened in Moulin-le-Comte, they always share the article on Facebook. They tag me, they message me. When there was the attack in Paris and the police was in Seclin because they thought the terrorist was in Seclin, everybody
Yeah.
started to call me via Facebook. When my friend Sebastian from university died and did the front page, no one at the university, no one of my classmates contacted me to say, hey, are you aware Sebastian had an accident? Like, you see the difference. So,
Well, welcome to the Depressing Excellent Talk. Welcome to Depression, Season 2 of
that's what
Depression.
look, you,
No,
it's really strange because we've been friends for 15 years and you know my secret, I know
eh?
your secret, la 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 la, patati patata.
My secret's this, by the way.
Why are you so interested on my nose? Like my broken nose just fascinates you. How many times you ask me question about my nose? Like it's like why
I
are
don't.
you
That's only
so
twice.
interesting?
You brought it up.
Mm.
If you play this back, Amelie, you actually physically brought it up.
Yes, I broke it up. True, but
Yeah.
whenever we met, whenever we see each other, and you're always like, I have to ask about your nose, I have to ask about your nose, and your nose, so your nose. When you say the story of what exactly, like you have the fascination with my nose, is that because I'm very beautiful, but my nose is broken, and I refuse to do a plastic surgery with my nose? Because a lot of people say that
No,
to me. Oh, you would be so beautiful if your nose was not broken. Why don't you
I
do
had no
plastic
idea your
surgery?
nose was broken until you told me. I had no idea. I just thought how you were.
But it's a part of
I
me,
mean,
It's my broken
yeah,
nose, and I really like my broken nose because my mom has a broken nose too, And
runs in the family.
yeah, haha,
It's
yeah.
genetic.
She was from. Her dad was an alcoholic, and he was terrible. She left the family when she was 18, and she got married with my dad when she was 18.
Yeah.
Often my parents say to me, we didn't want it to marry straight away. We wanted to live together and later on have a good ceremony, which they did 1 year later.
Right.
But yeah, it's run in the family. We have a broken nose. That's all. And it's
Okay.
always a beautiful story.
Cool. Now, when you're doing this, you're doing exactly what you're saying that Sally and Barry and a little bit of NoHo Hank do, and that's write their
Hmm.
history. And this is all about what was it? The past equals the present times the future over yesterday, right? So
Hmm.
you just kind of gave an example of that
Hmm.
because you were talking about things just like Sally was trying to re-go on how she left Sam, which is spoiler alert, her ex-husband's name, or maybe her current
Hmm.
husband's. I don't know if they're legally divorced yet or not. And then we see this with Gene trying to rewrite his history by giving his son the cabin, and the son's like, "You mean the place where your girlfriend was murdered?" Like, no, that's fucking gross, right? We see Hank. I think it actually opens up with Hank rewriting his history in a daydream about being the most powerful man on basically on the planet, power wise, And we see that with Sally trying to read, I said how she lives her ex husband. And we see it with, well, we see it with Barry twice. Because Barry tries to recount how he was in Afghanistan, but then changes the scene slightly and then rewrites it into something else entirely. He kind of rips off another movie. And then you see it with Barry again when he ends up kind of seeing okay, I'm not going to spoil too much, but Fuchs at the very end, Barry rewrites it a little bit by forgetting all the crappy things that Fuchs did to him and just
Hmm.
accepting Fuchs as he is. So this is a bit about
Hmm.
rewriting your own history and trying to control your future. By controlling, if you can rewrite your
Okay,
history,
yeah.
your past history, or whatever it's going to be, obviously it's redundant saying past history, you can then control who you are now. That makes sense.
Yes, but here's the thing. I would like to jump on that
Yeah.
about Barry. I like the first version when he
Anything else you
admits
want to
he has
jump on?
having positive feelings about it. When he says there is there is a spirit of camaraderie. I was very proud for my first kill.
Yeah.
He tells the truth. The first version, he tells the truth, and he stopped, and he's like, "No, I can't say that." And that's interesting because he censored himself. When I watched the first time and I saw that, I'm like, great, good, do that. It's fantastic. It reminds me of Janet McCurdy books. I'm glad my mom died. We want that. We want a soldier from Afghanistan who's
Yeah.
like, I was very happy in Afghanistan. I was going the greater good. I was a soldier. I was killing for my nation. I was very happy. Thank you for your service, kind of thing. We want that. We would love to have a story about that, right? And he stopped and he censored himself. And then he's like, no,
Oh,
I'm going to change and pivot the story to something else. I'm going to say the day I killed someone, but to save somebody. And you have the
to say
scene,
someone. Yeah.
they're talking to another side. Somebody got shot in the jaw. He tried to help his friend, and he turned and he sees something. So I'm like, yeah, great. Why not? You want to talk about something which is traumatic but personal, and you're ashamed of it, but you're going to turn a little bit. Yes, I killed someone, but for the greater good, my friend was in danger, and I was right. And he's right. Why is a murderer when he kills outside of war, but not during war? If you just take about the theater zone, and without knowing Barry,
Right.
okay, let's be general. And I really like to see him struggling, and I really like the scene in Lululemon because it reminds me of Westworld. Have you ever watched Westworld?
The original or the remake?
The original Westworld. That's Westworld. Sorry, I pronounce very badly. Um, it's a scene where I don't know if the name is the same in English. It's two guys who want to be rock star, and it's very funny, haha. And there is a
Oh no,
scene
Westworld.
where
That's
mhm,
and where the robots
yeah,
were being reprogrammed. No, that's a
there is
completely
another
different. I don't know
title
what you're talking
for the
about.
movie in France anyway. And there is a scene where
Okay.
they're like, so we need to do promotion. Yes, you need to do promotion because we need to make money and stuff. And they've got the pizza box from uh, from Pizza Hut.
Okay.
And there in the scene, you see his friend with a cap, black cap, and Lululemon on it, and he sits just like a wink wink
Right.
to some scenarists, right? And he's like, look, when you watch Braveheart, the guy die and everything, but it's not theater, it's not cinema. We don't care about honesty. What we care about is entertainment. So you have the scene of Braveheart. So what I would suggest you do is you write your scene and everything where it does take place, and then you do a Braveheart, beautiful speech like Braveheart, which doesn't work because he explain his scene. He read his scene in front of
Yeah.
Mr. Kusuno. Mr. Kusuno, I love that scene. He enter in Afghanistan. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing, Barry? I'm Jewish. This is shit. You're doing Braveheart. It's not Braveheart. Don't know. It's Braveheart." And he's like, "This is not working. I want honest. I want dramatic. I want truth. I want raw." And that's interesting to see the three stories. First one is the truth, but he censors himself. Second one, it's okay, I'm going to pivot, said I killed, but I save a friend. And the third one is like, no, I don't need to be raw and truth and honest. This is cinema. This is beautiful. I'm going to do a speech.
Right.
He's right. That's how
Okay.
it goes.
Well, you went pretty far and deep with this one, so let me back up a bit so I can respond a bit. Uh, you were saying that there are no differences between killing in war and killing on the street. One, you're a soldier. One, you're a murderer. That's what you're saying. Kind of like
Hmm.
the truncate a bit.
Yeah, in the philosophic way.
Okay, right. Do you see how at least Western society treats people who commit murder? What do? They put them in jail, usually, right?
Correct. Yes.
Do you see how Western society treats veterans when they come back from war?
Yeah, but like now in America, I mean,
No, do
I've
you?
been
What did they
to
do?
but they celebrate them
Because
apparently, especially in America,
no,
in
they
North
don't.
America, USA.
They give them lip service, and then they leave them to rot, usually on the street, homeless or without help, without medical, really, because TRICARE is crap. So
Which,
they
like,
still stigmatize the people who went to war for that country, and they distance themselves pretty fucking far, except for thank you
which
for our
one, which
service.
war?
Oh,
Because if
that
it's
happens.
Vietnam, yes.
Any fucking
If
war.
it's Afghan, if Ian, dude, bro, my friend, no, stop. Afghanistan, they change everything. There are a lot of association, a lot of money
You're
from the
saying there's no
government is giving.
Afghanistan veterans that are homeless right now? That's
I'm
fucking
sure
ignorant. I'm so
there is.
sorry. No.
I'm sure there is. And there is money from the government. Like in America, there is help, there is situation, there is thing. Like it's not glorious,
I'm
glorious,
sorry,
but
man.
there is. Okay, Have you been talking to veterans from the war of Afghanistan? Because my husband and I, we know a lot of veterans from Afghanistan,
Yeah, I
from
do.
our generation.
Yeah.
Like you say, oh, has it traded and everything. Yes, but it's more in the idea of fighters ethical. Like, oh, you're a soldier, you kill. Of course, you kill because you're a soldier. But if you kill, you walk down the street and you kill somebody, you're a murderer through the eyes, of the law.
Hmm. I mean, you guys can talk to all your friends at one, but this is what I grew up with. So I'm never going to see it that way. A lot of my friends, because I grew up during 9/11, and so a lot of my friends went to Iraq, Iran, and Afghanistan for 20 fucking years. No one comes back the same if they come back at all. Some people get help, some don't.
Yeah, but
And
what
if you ever
it
seen,
is
if you
to
ever
do
seen,
with but
if you
what
ever see, Amelie, one second. If you ever seen people homeless because the government screwed them over after they went to risk their lives for whatever fucking mission they went to Afghanistan for, yeah, that's the lived reality for people who I grew up with.
okay, cool, but what's the link between I'm a murderer if I kill somebody on the street, and I'm not a murderer if I go to war and I kill somebody? What's the link with this and the government not taking good care of people coming back to their war?
Because they're stained. You still have that stain on you. People don't want to be around people who kill. Still.
Yes, but with Barry.
Barry even said if he tells them the truth about how he was celebrating his first kill, no one's going to like it. That's his inherent darkness within him. That's what he's calling it. You know?
Okay, so it's censoring. As a writer, as a writer, have you
Mhm.
ever found yourself in a situation when you want to tell a story? You're writing your chapter, da 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 da, and you stop and you're like, yeah, I can't, I can't publish that, or I can't share that because people are going to be not going to accept this or that, or you see what I mean? Have you
No, my
find
book got
yourself in
banned in
that
places
situation?
for it. No, no. I mean, I wrote a memoir, so if I found that, I'll be rewriting that. Yeah, I mean, we all kind of rewrite things, anyways. But no, no. And as a result, my book got banned. As a result, I got some really great judge feedback. As a result, some people won't ever read it. As a result, it may or may not go anywhere. And there's parts of the book where people are quite upset at me to have in, but I didn't change them. Oh wow,
And when you watch the episode of Barry with the writing, etc., do you feel some connection with your personal experience?
no, because I didn't really see it as writing. I see what you're saying now about going through it, and there's been some reflection of it, of course, but I didn't see it as them really trying to write a novel, like trying to get into a character, make a scene as a different mindset than working with something for like a decade, you know. But yeah, so when we have this, we have a lot of things that focus on restructuring. And one of the things that the restructuring is NoHo Hank wants Barry not just to kill, but to train his own army. So if he has his own army, his own army, then he can take on people himself. And that goes about as well as you think it would be. Remember, they have that translator, and Barry's like, can they understand everything I say? Like, can you guys speak English type things? Like, there was like, yeah, we all speak English. It's like, what are you here for then? So we have all these things, right? So you have, to start off, and then we'll do the beat by beat now. So we have NoHo Hank is in his big dream where he's taking the intellectual power, right? And then he is like, "Oh, did something happen to Esther? Oh no!" And it turned out that Esther's right there. He's like, "Oh no! Like what the hell just happened?"
Yeah,
So
and you have the point of view from him, from his story.
yeah,
He's like, "Oh my
yeah,
God, something happened, da da da," and she's there, and he's like, "Oh yeah, who did that? Is it just a peon, or is it the horse? I wonder if it's a horse." And he's like, "Oh, gloops, I fucked up." You see what I mean? So it's really funny.
yeah. And then what does Cristobal do? They send Hank and his people out to a storage shed to live. You know,
Yeah,
this is like the new place.
big down ground,
Yeah.
bang.
Instead of like the whole swimming pool thing, it's like, oh, I got like a storage unit now. And then Hank's like, well, looks like I have to kill Barry because that's the loose end right now. And Barry attacked for some reason. Why would Barry attack them all, right? And then we see like Barry preparing for the monologue, and then this is where the writing comes back in. So we have NoHo Hank's version of rewriting his past by his dream, right? And then Barry is preparing the monologue about the Korengal Valley. And he's like, well, maybe I can do it on the first time I saved a life. And part of that may or may not been true, but he starts embellishing to the Braveheart part where the bullets are missing him and stuff like that, right?
And I want to punish you for last time because you, my dear friend, and I, we had a heated argument about Barry lying or not lying. Aha!
He's lying.
Aha! Aha! So Barry, in the previous episode, was pinned in the corner by Kusuno to tell the first time he killed. And there was this, what we call in French, mise en scène. Two actors come up and they're like fake crying and stuff. And Mr. Kusuno turned to Barry and said,
Barry.
"Is this what happened?" And Barry said, yeah, but he was pinned in the corner, and I was like, it's not lying. It's
He's
just he was
lying.
pinned in the corner, and he had to
No.
say yeah, and voila. And it's not lying. It's just okay. Well, if the story is like that, yeah, sure. But Mr. Kusuno in the second episode, donc this episode, third episode, he's like pushing
Third.
Barry to be honest, to not do bravado, to not no, no, no. I want the kill the rose, the this, the that. And you see Barry who really want to tell the truth, but he's like, should I tell the truth? Should I embellish?
Yeah.
Should I do Hollywood, etc. So it's not lying. Like we even have with Sally,
It's
who's like,
lying.
I want to tell the truth and everything, and she. So is embellishing a story lying when it's for
Yes.
art?
No,
Your answer is
watch.
yes.
Let me explain. Let me explain this. Barry is lying because Gene said this is how it happened. And once he says, yeah, Gene then thinks that's the truth. But that's not the truth. You can retell something, but if the main emotion is laughter and joy, joy from killing someone, and like, no, no, I was crying like a little girl. I was crying like a little, then that's an absolute lie. That's not a creative retelling of something. Creative retelling of something, for example, would be making my friend Gene Kennedy into a little person because I thought that'd be funny in the story. And I even give him a French accent because why not? But the rest of the stuff that Gene does is truthful. You know, Barry lies about his background. Barry lies about experience. But Barry lies. I'm not saying that someone wouldn't lie in that situation, especially if people are like, "Oh, you're a monster if you say no." But it's still a lie. Sally lies. We all believe that Sally is lying at least when she says that she stood up to her abusive ex-husband. She's rewriting her own past.
At the beginning, you can believe her in some case because you're like, okay, it's maybe possible one day she had enough and she wanted to break free. How many women murder their husband because they got beaten up or allegedly beaten up or this kind of thing,
Right?
or you had enough and self-defense and out of burst of rage? It happened, but it's more the idea of she wants to break free from that terrible situation because she didn't want to be a victim, as we could see in the previous episode when she was like, I don't want to play victim because I have the feeling I'm a victim of being abused and being married for so many years with my abuser, you know. So it's interesting to see the different situation from the victim, a soldier, and somebody who is in heart, and somebody who's kind of lying, you know, in the mafia.
Yeah. And then it goes into what happens next to Barry's rewriting a scene in his own place, and then gunshots come through, like the sniper shots.
I love that
And he's
scene.
like, what the
It's
shit? Poof, poof, poof. Yeah, and that was a good scene. It really was. And it kind of like shows where the two lives of Barry are starting to cross over again, where he's not just saved by being the actor and being with Sally and all these normal things. People are trying to kill him, which means he's putting Sally in danger as well, without even
I
knowing it.
like that scene because he's in a place with she's really uncomfortable. He's writing
Yeah.
about something with personal, his first kill. He would love to tell the truth and say, well, I was in the army in Afghanistan and I was very proud. I had an esprit of camaraderie. I had my friends and my first kill. Everybody was so proud of me. I'm going to tell you, it was the best day of my life, and it could have gone like this. And he raised. He's like, no, I'm not going to say that. And he focused on his scene, and we are in Afghanistan. He pivot and everything, so we're really into the
Yeah.
storytelling. And I can see at that precise moment Bill Hader. I don't see Barry, I see Bill. I see Bill
Really?
thinking about the scene, thinking about the writing, thinking about the word, and okay, I'm going to pivot that scene that way with that character. I'm going to change it, and it's going to do a sort of domino effect. If I'm a
Yeah.
killer, but this time it's because I save a friend. We are here, we're talking, we're with the villagers, we refuse to pay back the villager for the sheep who got killed, da 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 da, and somebody got hit, bang. And that scene is so striking and so interesting and captivated. And boom, it stopped. It's like, should I not? And you hear, pew, 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 and back to reality, back to Barry being a killer, not just a writer. And here, whoop,
Pump, pump, pump.
he's a Superman. He goes to the other building and he's back to what is really good.
Yeah. And he completely takes out, well, he neutralizes, we'll say, the guy trying to kill him, the sniper. And lo and behold, we see like Hank's with him, like, hey, what are you doing? And Hank tries to explain things, and they make an agreement if Barry trains, doesn't have to kill no one, just trains Hank's people, the debt is clean. We're all good. So, Barry's like, yeah, why not? Give it a shot. And so you see that, and then we cut directly to, as we talked about before, where Gene is trying to give his son like the cabin, like I didn't give you nothing. Here's my property. It's like that's gross. That's where your girlfriend got murdered. I don't want that. And then so it's like we're setting up Gene's son for a beat again. Then we move on to something else.
But
Yeah,
I like the way he presents the house. It's like you're giving me your house. I don't want to have a holiday house. No, 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 no. See it as a
yeah,
side
not that one.
project. You and I, we can rent it. We can you can look after the garden. It's like, do you want free work? No, no, no. Side project. And I really like that because the house who is in the forest is not in LA by itself. It's just between
Mm,
you and I. It's our side project. It's doing the garden. Rent it if you want. It's a house, and a house, it's a symbol of family. So let's be family, let's reconnect, which is a good idea. However, it's really creep because from the perspective of the son, it's like you're giving me the house when your girlfriend got murdered. What the fuck, dude?
yeah,
And you came back after years. So that's what I love this episode because this episode play also on the perspective of different character. like the perspective from Hank, the perspective from the mafia, the perspective from the lady who was supposed to be dead, who have suspicion towards Hank, and the idea of Mr. Cousino is like, I had an idea, we're going to work together on my home, we're going to be family, we're going to reconnect.
Yeah.
And the son is like, what the fuck? So the cabin when your girlfriend got murdered? And you're like,
Right.
oh, so
And that
it's very
goes on
lively.
how the rest of the people look at the murders, because Gene is just kind of like, and the son's like, no, I don't want that. Like, that's the murder house. I don't want that. And we talk about, next thing we see is like after Barry tries to instruct the Chechens who can't hit the broadside of a barn, which is a great it's a great comic relief scene, but it also shows you just how inept people could be. Like, yeah, like we're gonna like a bunch of people. Who's ever fired a gun before? Like, oh, no one. Okay, who knows what a gun is? Okay, this is how you hold it. So you see that, and then he's just trying to get out of his mind, and we go into, and Barry leaves, and he finds, of course, Lululemon, because she get like stutter 5 times. He gets a text like, "Oh, can I please, sure, I'll cover for you, whatever." And she goes like, "Oh, dummy, this dummy covers for me." Like, "Oh, wrong person." Like, yeah, whatever. So Barry's being used again. So he goes to Lululemon, and Fuchs runs into him, right? And it's like, oh my god, you think Fuchs is going to get just slapped down? No, Fuchs again. Barry rewrites his past with Fuchs and forgets all the bad stuff and focuses only on the camaraderie of them. And even while they're talking, they start hugging and crying and stuff like that. But Barry asks, yeah,
Yeah, I would like to have a window of opportunity to talk.
yeah,
I really like that scene because when Barry was talking to his girlfriend, she's like, "Oh, I feel really good. I spoke to my friend to do a reality check. Da 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 da. Oh, great, great, great." He's like, "So how is your piece?" "Oh, I can't. I can't. I want to censor." "No, no, no. You need to be raw and everything." "Yeah, but I don't know how to do it." And she's like, "Why don't you contact your marine friend? He went to Afghanistan with you. It's somebody who lives that, who can understand you." And she's
yeah,
right.
the one
Like,
that's
if you're an
dead.
alcoholic, you're going to be understood way better by somebody who is an alcoholic or used to be an alcoholic. I forget the word. Or if, for example, you do drugs and you have drug issue, you will be understood by somebody who did the same drug like you. Like, how many times I met people at the hotel who's like, well, I had problem with alcohol. I tried to open it to my family, and they were like, go to a psychologist, and I just needed to talk to somebody who would understand. So I find this AA meeting, and it was really
Yeah,
good to talk with people who went through the same thing without being judged. Like, hey, I started like this one bottle, two bottle, and one day I woke up and I was completely back out, because people judge. That's the way it is. So it's really interesting this little moment when he's sitting with Barry. They talk. He's like, "No, you just have to do Hollywood. I love you the way you are." And they have this intimacy, you know. And that's
yeah,
really important when you're an adult. Because when you're a teenager, you've got friend everywhere. You've got friend when you go to sport. You got friend at school. You got friend because you're a
yeah.
child. And then you become an adult and you have
When you're
your
a teenager,
mistake,
you
your
might have friends
responsibility and
everywhere.
stuff.
And
Pardon?
as Amelie freezes up a bit, there, you finger back,
Yes,
maybe.
you too. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
for that. Sorry, you're freezing up on and off right now.
Yeah,
But
I
as the
know. I
hamster
know, I
wheels and
know, I know.
frogs run faster for internet, there. But yeah, you brought that up, and I just thank you for bringing that up, because I forgot that scene where Sally's like, "Why don't you talk to your Marine friend, like Chris?" And we're like, "Oh, he can't because he killed him." Spread's like, "Oh yeah, I probably could have," but and then that even sets up the Fuchs thing even better, because Fuchs at least knows something what Barry was going through, and Fuchs' advice was like, "Don't tell them the truth." Oh my god, that's the worst thing you could ever do. No one's gonna understand, but the people who are there. You do not tell them the truth. And what you were saying
Correct.
before about the alcoholism and being a drug addict and stuff like that, you have to find someone that can talk about those problems, like AA and NA. Because if your family says like, "Oh, just go to a therapist," my dad's not here anymore, but that was my dad's problem with going to the Veterans Associations or Administration, VA administration. The VA's therapist for PTSD was the therapist never saw combat. So how in the fuck they're supposed to give someone who's a combat vet advice about getting the shit out of their head if they never saw it in the first place? It's like describing the color yellow to a blind person. You can try, but good fucking luck. So you see that connection with Fuchs because, well, maybe because Triss is dead. And then we move on to acting class. Strangle me, right? Barry does Braveheart. Gene calls him up for it. And then Sally's like, please strangle me. What do you think about
That
that one?
scene,
The please strangle.
that scene made me
Yeah.
really uncomfortable because he says several times, "No, I can't." Why? Because there's strong goal and stuff, and Bilader is perfect, amazing actor. He's like, "No, no, no, I can't, I
Yeah.
can't, I can't." There's a scene when he's like, "You're an actor, you act." No, 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 I feel uncomfortable. Da 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 da. I am a teacher. You are a teacher. You do theater with kids. You have a veteran for the war of Afghanistan who probably has PTSD, who say to you, the teacher, I can't do that scene because there is shocking. I don't want to shock my partner. Even if it's theatrical, I'm scared. I don't want to. What do you do? When you see
What
a
do I
guy
do?
like Bilader, be like, no, no,
I
no, I feel uncomfortable, etc.
I don't do what Sally did and said you're a fucking pussy. Remember, like Sally snaps at him, trying to get that rise out of him to fight back and to actually choke her. Like, no, you just give them space. What would you do? Would you yell at him like Sally did? Like, you fucking pussy.
No, I would stop the scene. I would say, okay, just read the scene and that's all. And if you're not comfortable, let's give space and talk about it. Okay, what happened? What makes you uncomfortable? You know, I'm an actress, etc. What about we rehearsal first? Okay, simple as that. Take it easy
Yeah.
peasy. Like you don't. No, like no, no, no. That scene make me uncomfortable. And then he screamed, "Fuck off!" to both of them, and you can see he's really pissed, and he left. And then
Yeah,
Sally
and he leaves.
follow, and what do you see? You see her ex-boyfriend, and the scene completely changed.
Sam. Yeah. And that's what happens where Sally's probably thinking that Barry's a sweet guy. He can't even act like the strangling thing. He's not going to be there. Whatever it's going to be emotionally, whatever his problems are, he's maybe not, in Sally's mind, like man enough, whatever that means. And then you see Sam show up. And this is now Sally having her past confront her after her trying to rewrite the past for the entire episode. The past comes to confront her, and you almost feel sorry for the ex-husband because, like, oh, you dead. Like Barry just found out that you were basically attacking and beating. If he believes it or not, if it actually happened or not. But Barry believes in his mind that you were attacking his girlfriend in the past. He's just gonna kill you. And we don't
Just with
know if
one look,
Sally's
you
talking
can see his
truthfully,
look.
what we think she was. Yeah.
Hmm.
And that is a good way to end this one. And this is one of the things that we'll say from Bill Hader, according to there we go. When Bill Hader was writing this, he's like, sorry. When Bill Hader was talking about this, he was like, it starts with the idea of how we lie to ourselves and how we can tell someone our truths, but not all of our truths. You tell partial truths, and so it'll be funny to illustrate that instead. Just watching Barry type stuff and say it, you want to dramatize it. So he's admitting that you're not telling the truth. Bill Hader, the person who played it, not me. I didn't say this. Bill Hader said it. He's like, you tell partial truths. You don't tell the truth. So I don't know how to do that thing anymore. But that's a perfect way to kind of end it. And this episode, if you want to look at the historical viewing of it, the previous episode This one audience grew by a lot. People seem to love this episode. Now, we talked about a lot today. Next time, Season 2, Episode 4, Deep Dive with Barry, with myself, Joe, and my co-host, Amelie, as we bid you, what happened to your nose? Kidding. Good day. You're dancing to nothing at all. I love it. Oh, there you go. I'm number one. I know. It's just me. Bye, y'all. Like and subscribes. Deuces.
I hear a cat.